Hi guys, today we're going to talk about the graduate application process at NTU. After my video with Harnoor, a lot of you contacted me personally regarding a lot of questions about the application process. So in this video, I will try and clear most of your doubts. For those new to my channel, I am Neha Agrawal. I am an alumnus of NTU Singapore and I've studied and worked in Singapore for almost 3 years. Before starting your application process, if you wish to know more about Singapore, you can watch my video on 10 reasons why Singapore is the best country to live in for a student. I have shared details about accommodation, food, cost of living and much more. So do watch it, and now let's get going. So first I'm going to share some facts about NTU and what makes NTU unique. After that, I will share all the different graduate programs that NTU has to offer. Then we will also discuss about scholarships availability and how you are supposed to apply for them. And now, let's begin. Being an alumnus, I obviously love NTU and it's one of the most amazing universities you can study in. But my feelings aside, let me share some statistics with you as well. NTU has been consistently ranked as the best youngest university in the world by QS rankings. NTU was established in 1991 and it's going to be 30 years old this year. NTU has also been ranked 13th by the World University QS rankings. And the best part, when I was doing my Masters in Material Science, that year NTU ranked number 1 in Material Science subject. And it was such a proud moment for all of us at that time. NTU's campus is huge. It's like a town in itself, with academic buildings, 24-25 hostels, hospital, restaurants, shopping complexes and a huge sports complex. The size of the campus is about 200 acres, which if you would like to imagine is like 50 cricket grounds put together. I remember when I used to take the campus rider, the bus that goes around NTU, it used to take approximately 20 minutes to complete one round. So you can very well imagine how big NTU is. The research facilities at NTU are also top notch, and that is something you don't have to worry about at all when you're coming to study here. There's so much more that I would like to share about my experience at NTU, but probably in another video. If you would like to take virtual tours of the campus, you can visit NTU's YouTube channel because there are tons of videos posted by them and it's super fun to watch. I've shared the link in the description. But now coming to more serious things. I know a lot of you have this notion that NUS is much better as compared to NTU. Well, in terms of rankings, yes. NUS is the oldest university of Singapore and there are so many schools of NUS that are doing much better than NTU. But to tell you an honest fact, if you're coming to Singapore to get a good job after your studies, then it doesn't really make a difference. Companies don't differentiate between NTU or NUS. This is coming from my personal experience and experience of a lot of my friends who studied in Singapore. So if you get admission in either one of the universities, that is NTU or NUS, and you don't get admission in another, then please don't think twice, because at the end of the day, it's not going to make much difference. So now that we've spoken at length about how awesome NTU is, let's talk about the graduate programs. So once you've completed your undergrad studies, you can join one of the graduate programs offered by NTU. So now I'm going to show you what are the different graduate programs NTU has to offer and how you can find all this information on the website.
So if you go to NTU's official homepage, click on Academics and then go to Graduate Programs. Here you will see that there are two categories of graduate programs that are offered by NTU. One is graduate programs by coursework and another is graduate programs by research. So let's have a look at graduate programs by coursework. So if you click here, you will see that these are all the different programs that are offered by NTU. And scroll down, you will see there are some graduate programs by coursework from College of Business as well. If we scroll down further, you will see there is College of Engineering, and these are the different MSc degrees that are actually offered. Similarly, these are all the different degrees that you can actually see and read more about them to understand which course or which program are you more interested in. Now let's go have a look at graduate programs by research. Essentially, graduate programs by research lead you to a doctoral or a master's degree. Now, these are the different schools that offer programs by research. So what you should do is choose the school that you wish to study in. Say, for example, material science and engineering. So if I click here, these are the different programs that are actually offered. So as you see here, Doctor of Philosophy, PhD and Master of Engineering, Masters of Science in Material Science and Engineering, and Mini Masters in Material Science and Engineering. And then you can click on all these individual degrees to see what interests you or where you wish to study or which program you wish to take up. So here on the websites, the classification has been done based on different schools, whether it's graduate program by coursework or graduate programs by research. So here if you go to academics again and you click on college or schools, then these are the different colleges and schools that are available at Nanyang Technological University. So say for example, I want to study in School of Computer Science and Engineering and I'm very confident about that. Then I directly go to the schools page. I will click on prospective students. Once I go to prospective students, I will click on graduate. And if you see, they have also clearly mentioned what are the different degrees that they are offering.
Once you've made a decision about the school and the program, whether you're going for masters by coursework, masters by research or PhD, the next thing that you need to think about is scholarships. So in general, scholarships are not provided for graduate programs by coursework. And the reason for that, based on my understanding, is that scholarships are provided when you are able to help the university or contribute to the university in some way. And coursework programs don't allow you to do so. Because the courses or the subjects that you take will benefit you to get a better job, but doesn't necessarily help the university. But when you go for research-based programs, scholarships are available, because you are able to contribute to the university and contribute to the country by bringing new technology and new innovation through your research. So, in general, no scholarships for coursework-based programs, while scholarships are available for research-based programs. Now, this is generally what happens. If for your course or program there is an exception, then please do your research, okay? I don't take guarantee for that. So now that we have eliminated coursework, you know that scholarships are available for research-based programs. Now, even within the research-based programs, there are higher chances to get a scholarship when you apply for a PhD program as compared to a master's. In fact, there are few scholarships that are only offered to PhD students and they are not available for even masters by research. And why is that? It's actually based on the same reasoning that I gave earlier. Because master's program is relatively of a shorter duration, therefore the contribution that you can make in terms of research is much lesser as compared to a PhD student. Therefore, unless you are absolutely outstanding, please don't get your hopes up of getting a scholarship for your masters. So having said that, now finally let's learn about these scholarships.
So if you click on prospective students and go to scholarships for graduate programs, these are the 3 scholarships that are available for international applicants. Nanyang President's Graduate Scholarship, NTU Research Scholarship, and Singapore International Graduate Award or SINGA.
Each school can have its own scholarship schemes as well. And there are also chances that all the 3 scholarships might not be available for all the schools and programs. So please do your research accordingly. Now, before we understand each of these scholarships and how you are supposed to apply for them, let me tell you in order which has a higher success rate. All scholarships are generally difficult to get and you need to be outstanding to be able to secure one of the scholarships. But out of these 3, the easiest scholarship to secure is the NTU Research Scholarship. NTU is the sponsor for the scholarship, and so most of the PhD students enrolled in NTU are through this scholarship. So let's learn about this one first.
First one that we are going to look at is the NTU Research Scholarship. So for the NTU Research Scholarship, the requirements are pretty basic. You should be an international student enrolled as a full-time candidate. The second requirement is that you must have a minimum of honors or distinction.
So if you are an Indian student and you have secured 75% marks in your undergrad, then you are considered to have honors or distinction.
Next is you should not be on paid employment. So obviously you should not be hired anywhere else. or hold any other scholarship.
These are very basic requirements and most of the students are able to meet this cutoff. So the final decision then depends on various things like your overall profile, research experience, CGPA, examination scores of GRE, TOEFL, etc. There is no written information of how students are shortlisted for these scholarships, so I can't really comment more than this. And now for the perks of this scholarship.
So if you're an international student and enrolled for PhD program, you will be eligible for $2,000, 2,000 Singapore dollars as stipend every month. And if you're a master's candidate, then you are eligible for 1,500 Singapore dollars stipend every month. So for PhD candidates, once you've cleared your qualifying examination, you are eligible for an additional stipend of up to 500 Singapore dollars per month. In addition to the monthly stipend, the award also covers the annual tuition fee. Another thing to note is that there is no bond attached to the scholarship.
Coming to the application procedure.
All you need to do is when you're filling out your application form, there is going to be a checkbox to select whether you want to be considered for NTU Research Scholarship or not. Just select that box and your application for scholarship would be done. Also, one thing that you should remember is the coverage. So if you're enrolled for a PhD program, you are eligible to receive stipend only till your first 4 years of PhD degree. And if you're enrolled for a master's program, then you will receive a scholarship only for the first 2 years of your master's degree. So do try and make sure that you are able to finish your PhD degree and your master degree within the time limit allotted.
After NTU Research Scholarship, you can try for Singapore International Graduate Award or SINGA. This scholarship is offered by A-STAR. A-STAR is a research organization in Singapore and a lot of joint research takes place between A-STAR and the top institutions of Singapore.
Now let's look at the second scholarship, that is Singapore International Graduate Award or SINGA. So this directly takes us to the A-STAR website and it says here very clearly, the Singapore International Graduate Award is a collaboration between A-STAR and NTU, NUS and SUTD. So if you're applying to any of these universities, only then will you be eligible to apply for SINGA scholarship. Now this is also applicable only for PhD students and master's students cannot apply for this scholarship. Next, coming to other important details. So you can see here, over 29,000 applications are received. Out of that, almost only 950 or 1,000 students receive this scholarship. So you can see that this is also a very competitive scholarship and quite difficult to get. Now, one thing that you need to note here is that there are only specific NTU supervisors and projects which are funded by A-STAR under this SINGA scholarship.
So when you are applying for this scholarship, make sure that the professor or the projects that you are choosing fall under this category.
So you can just go on this link and read about all the professors and projects under A-STAR category or under SINGA scholarship. Now coming to the eligibility. So here also the eligibility criteria are pretty general. You should have a passion for research, excellent academic results, good skills in written and spoken English, good reports from academic referees. So these are very general eligibility criteria. Coming to coverage. So the coverage or the perks of this scholarship is also very similar to your NTU Research Scholarship. You receive a monthly stipend of 2,000 which will be increased to 2.5k after you clear your qualifying examination. Tuition fees are also completely waived off just like NTU Research Scholarship. And it is also applicable only till your 4 years of PhD. Again, very similar to NTU Scholarship. The only difference is that they give you a one-time airfare grant and one-time settling in allowance. So this is some additional features of this particular scholarship.
Now coming to the application procedure.
So step by step, it's very clearly given what you need to do to apply for the scholarship. First is browse all the PhD research projects you are interested in. Then these are the documents that you will need. A valid passport, a passport size photo. All the transcripts would be required. 2 recommendation reports will be required by your referees. And some optional things that you can also submit is your GRE scores, IELTS or TOEFL scores, GATE results. These things are optional. And now to apply for the scholarship, all you need to do is go to this link. And then you have to create your login ID and password, and then whatever form needs to be filled or whatever documents have to be uploaded, you have to complete all the requirements.
So guys, this is how you can apply to the SINGA scholarship. And now coming to the third and the most difficult scholarship to get, which is the Nanyang President's Graduate Award. difficult because only very few scholarships are offered every year. So it's very competitive. I remember when I was doing my masters at NTU and thought of applying for a PhD program, I decided to go for the scholarship, and I discussed this with my professor. And my professor told me that there were very less chances of me getting this scholarship. And this was after I was already a student of NTU. So as an international applicant, it's going to be a challenge to secure this scholarship unless you are absolutely outstanding. But at least let's see the eligibility, the perks, and how you can apply to this scholarship.
Now let's have a look at the last and the final scholarship, which is the Nanyang President's Graduate Scholarship. So this is actually one of the most prestigious scholarships that you can get. And now let's look at the eligibility. So it's very clearly written here that there is no restriction to any nationality of the candidates. But if everything is equal, then preference will be given to Singapore citizens and PRs. So you can very well understand why it's a more difficult scholarship to get. Few other eligibility criteria are also given. You should have like the highest distinction possible. So not only distinction, but if it's a first class distinction or any other distinction which is the highest, you should have that. Other than that, there are no specific eligibility requirements as such. Now coming to the perks of the scholarship, so it's definitely more as compared to your NTU Research Scholarship and your Singa. So here you see for international students, you get 3,000 Singapore dollars instead of your normal 2,000. And you have more conference allowance, IT allowance, thesis allowance, etc. Now let's look at the coverage. So even for the coverage, it's covered only for 4 years of your PhD candidature. So always remember that. And there is no additional bond attached to the scholarship. Also, this scholarship will cover your annual tuition fee just like the other scholarships. Now, the application procedure for the scholarship is given here. All you need to do is click on this link. But because we are not applying for the scholarship in this duration, we've already missed the deadline. If we click on this link, then it says that the application portal is already closed. So maybe later on when the application portal opens, I can actually prepare a new video for all of you.
So guys, I hope all this information will make your application process easier. There's so much more I would like to share with you, like examination requirements, cut-off scores, deadlines, service obligation schemes. But because this video will become too long, I will stop it here. And probably I'll shoot another video regarding all this information. So, thank you so much for watching this video, and I wish you all the very best for your application process.